Hello, and welcome to another episode from Cora and the Explorer. Today I wanted to discuss my journey with trail runs really, and how wanted to discuss my journey and experience of using trail runners for long distance backpacking. Now, if you've been following the channel, you'll know I've done the West Highland Way, the coast to coast, Wainwrights that is, the Cumbria Way twice, and quite a few backpacking trips of my own. But today I'm going to look at where I started and where I've now ended up in terms of trail runners. So the first trail runner that I actually started with was these by Cumbria, which are the Facet 60 degrees, and they're made from OutDry, which is a waterproof breathable membrane with a nylon, and I think it's like a rubberized plastic outer. They're not bad. I mean, they've got a really thick chunky sole. The outsole's okay, but it's not great. However, what they are is they're very heavy. The tongue is a bit, and they're really stiff. They're a really stiff shoe, and I didn't actually use these at all to do any backpacking in, because once I'd worn them for a little while, I knew they weren't for me. I know they were too stiff. The breathability wasn't great either, which is a shame because I've got an OutDry jacket by Cumbria and it is fantastic. But anyway, I moved on from then, and I went to the Salomon Speedcross. Now these are the Speedcross 5 Gore-Tex, but I've also had the 3s and the 4s, and I've found all incarnations of these shoes to be absolutely brilliant. They're a little bit on the narrow side. The grip when new, I mean these are worn, the grip is fantastic. They're really good studs, and as a material it grips well. Maybe the sole at the forefoot is a little bit on the thin side after you've been doing quite a long trail. I used, I think it was actually this pair on the West Highland Way, and I found the balls of my feet were getting a bit sore by the end of the trip really, and I think that was a lack of cushioning. Now, the one thing I did find, which I've seen on lots of reviews, is that the Gore-Tex was fantastic when you were walking through wet grass. It kept your feet reasonably dry, but once it started to really rain, the water came in the top of the shoe, and the game was over, because you're basically not getting the shoe dry while you're out in the field. Go on, go on, go on, go on. Sorry, you're basically not getting the shoe dry while you're out in the field at all. Regardless of what you do, that Gore-Tex is going to hold the moisture inside the shoe. So I decided to go for something a bit more cushioned, but something that wasn't waterproof. I've seen quite a few people using the non-waterproof approach, most notably in my mind, which influenced me, was Hayes Outdoors, when he did the Cape Wrath Trail, and he used a pair of non-waterproof trail runners. The philosophy being that you let your feet get wet, use quick drying socks, and you live with it. So I tried that, and I got myself a pair of Hoka Speed Goats. These are the first pair I got. These are the 4s. Really good shoe, very robust. Used them on Cumbria Way. They were fantastic. The only wear I've got really is a little hole in the toe there, which, you know, at the end of the day isn't too bad. Really enjoyed them. The cushioning was fantastic as well, so comfortable. And what I found was that my feet would, yes, they'd get wet really easily, but during dry periods your shoe dries out. So as you're walking, you find the shoe just dries, unlike with the membrane type shoes. So I was really sold on these. Unfortunately, wore out. So then I moved on to the next kind of incarnation, which was the 5s. Now these are made out of a slightly different material for an upper. They're a bit thinner, a bit stretchier, and they're actually more comfortable. But I would argue that they're less robust, they don't wear as well. The sole, just as good, just as much cushion, and I thought just as much grip. slightly more breathable. Now I used these on the coast to coast and they were fantastic. I mean, they were really good, right up through the lakes, right across Yorkshire, no problems at all. This incarnation actually dried better than the 4s, and totally sold on them. The only downside for me was that they wore out quite quick. So I was looking for another pair of shoes, and I thought, right, okay, people going about these. I'm sure you recognise them. The Ultra Lone Peak. So I've got a pair of these. These are the 6, and I tell you, I took them. I did another visit to the Cumbria Way. I was walking that. I wore these the whole way. Pair of little gaiters over the top, attached at the back with the Velcro. They were brilliant. Very comfortable, very wide, good grip. However, they're a 0 drop, and the one problem that I found was that I developed some Achilles tendinopathy or tendonitis, which is a great shame. So for me, the Lone Peaks are just not a practical trail shoe for me. So what am I wearing now, and what have I moved on to? Well, I did like the Hoka so much that I thought I'd try another Hoka shoe. So I've got the Torrent 3 now, which so far have been quite comfortable. I've not used them on any long distance trails yet, or even on any sort of backpacking trips of any note, to be honest. So we'll see how these go, and I'll keep you up to date. But so far they're very comfortable. There's a little bit more feel than you get with the Speed Goats, because the sole's slightly thinner. They do dry well. The fitting is great for my feet, so we'll see. So that's my journey with trail runners. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please click the like button and subscribe. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.